It is time for our cup run. Get it together! What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on the Craziacs channel. Today, it has been a while since we've discussed anything. Today, we're going to talk about the goaltending situation of the season. Blah. So, we've got a lucky number, it seems. So, the first video we did outside of our welcome video that was like a minute long was on a 7-game win streak for the team. Recently, we've clinched our 7th straight playoff berth. And one of our goalies happens to also have, you guessed it, a 7-game win streak. That and so much more are being covered today. But we're not going to cover the last 7 games for each goalie. Now, the Carolina Hurricanes like to play 2 goalies. We play Jacob and Anderson. And Jack, luckily, has some stats for us through the last 5 games.
Hey, guys. So, we got some stats for the last 5 games for each goalie. For Freddie Anderson, he's been stellar recently. Of course, that 7-game win streak. Normally, you'd expect, okay, cool. Like, the goalie's got to be contributing at least something. Freddie's contributing something completely different. Freddie has contributed in the last 5 games. His first of these last 5 games against Detroit. 24 of 26, 923 save percentage. Against San Jose. 24 of 25, 960 save percentage. 35 of 37, a 946 against Anaheim. A 14 of 15, 933 against Montreal. And most recently, against one of the best teams in the NHL, a 20 of 21 with a 952 save percentage against the Washington Capitals.
Woo! Let's go, Freddie!
Freddie has been proving to the entire league that he is a quality starter. Now, the problem with this is that although we have Freddie being absolutely stellar on one end of the ice, we have something a little odd going on in the other end in our 1A, 1B goaltender situation. So, Pyotr Kochetkov, throughout the season, has been very good. He's been great. He's posted great numbers. I've seen multiple times with him being in the top 10 with goalies and the wins, like top 10 in goalies and wins. And the first of these last 5 games, I mean, he had a 26 of 26 performance for a shutout against Philadelphia. So he had about a 4 or 5 game break. And then we show up and we play LA. And we thought, okay, you know, LA's just having a good game. And they did. They scored 7 goals. Pyotr had a 25 of 32 with a 720 save percentage against the Kings. Now we think, okay, cool. Maybe it's just the Kings. And for a second, I actually did think this. Because the next game, the LA Kings did go on to beat the Boston Bruins 7-2 against Jeremy Swayman. If I'm correct. I believe it was Swayman.
It was.
Which is like, okay, cool, yeah, but like it's Jeremy Swayman, and they also just got scored 7 goals on, which is like insane. So LA Kings were just on a heater. No big deal. We play a home game against Nashville, and Pyotr goes 16 of 19 for an 813 save percentage.
Shout out to our boy Noah for going and watching that one live in person. Yeah.
Which, boy, oh boy, was just an overall, like, we should have won that game. It was a throwaway. No big deal. Right out the window. Pyotr had another bad game. He'll be back. He'll be fine. Until he, you know, kind of played an iffy performance of a 31 of 35, 871 save percentage against the New York Islanders. We won that game, but, like, was it really that good of a performance by Kochetkov? And then most recently, as of right now, it was tonight, a 20 of 24 save percentage for 80% save against the Detroit Red Wings. Which, interesting stat on both of these. The Detroit Red Wings had 2 bursts. They scored 2 goals within 1 minute, and then in the second period, later in the game, scored 2 goals within 1 minute. So, interesting for stats-wise that way.
Round of applause for Coach Chetkov.
So, we look at overall career-wise, Freddie's been great in his career. He's had, a 9/11 save percentage in the last 18 games or something like that. Oh no, in the playoffs. And the regular season in the last 18 games, he's at a 920. Chetkov, this season he's 26, 14, and 3. So he's been playing good all season with an 899 save percentage is okay.
So
I guess
I'm gonna bring something up. So right before this slump for Kochetkov, when we were on that 7-game win streak as a team, Kochetkov was the better of the 2 goalies. He went from completely on fire up here. I'm on the left side. Completely on fire to bottoming out in an instant. I don't know what happened in LA, but whatever happened in LA, his poor guy has tanked his performance.
Yeah, and with all of that coming in, we're just kind of confused on what's happening. Can we get Piotr to lock in? What do we need to have happen for him to lock in? And I don't know what the answer to that question is, to be completely fair right now.
Can I intervene as the goalie real quick? Who's in this video?
Yeah.
Sure.
So I wanna take us back to about whenever Piotr had first started in the NHL, about 2 seasons ago, 3 seasons ago, somewhere on there.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember, he was the most inconsistent goaltender we have ever seen in our lives. He'd go from a shutout to 8 goals in a game. Just simple as that. It was never consistent. As he's played on, he's gotten more consistent. I will admit that. He's gotten way more consistent.
Mm-hmm.
But for the few times that I have watched him in person this season, I will admit he's let up some very soft goals. There were either breakaways where 100% they could have been saved. They were either through the armpit or just shots that 100% were savable. Or he got absolutely undressed and it's okay, maybe this 100% was going to be a goal, which 100% Nashville game that happened.
Yeah.
But I want to say though, we haven't mentioned this game because it was actually during the 7-game heater. Since his shutout against Philadelphia, which was, by the way, a 5-0 shutout, and he completely stole that game and made unreal saves. Since that, he has fallen off the hook. Now, I want to also say this too. He didn't play for over a week. He had about a week's time between Philadelphia and when he played in LA. That was over a week long. So a goaltender might not be as hot as you think they're going to be in that week span.
Yeah, that's a tough gap right there.
It is, and it's a tough gap, especially when you're an NHL goaltender and you haven't seen another team shot besides your own for a whole entire week. You're not going to be 100% the same player you were the week
Absolutely
before.
Not. Noah, do you want to give us a rundown on the history? I think we kind of touched on Kochetkov's history. And there's all of his with the Canes being inconsistent and up and down. Do you have some notes on the history of Freddie Andersen and stuff like that?
Of course I do. Let me go ahead and get into that here. So, noted, Frederik Andersen is a 2012 round 3 pick 87 out of Anaheim when the Canes had gotten him back in 2021-22. So, the 3 teams he has played for, actually we got him off of Toronto in the 2021-20 or end of 21-22 season or beginning of it. So currently for the regular season, Andersen is right now posting a 13-5-0 record with a 195 goals against average and a solid 920 save percentage with a singular shutout.
Woo!
Yeah, that is crazy work. His overall record is a 38-30-0 record with a 2.46 goals against average and a 914 save percentage with that's his overall in the playoffs. His career is a 307, 132, and 52 with a 2.54 goals against average and a 916 save percentage with 28 shutouts in his career.
How does he get so much hate? I don't understand it. I mean, other than injuries, we know how the injury bug has bitten Frederik Andersen. But
if you want me to be honest, I don't think it's really just the injury bug. I think that he played for Anaheim and he played for Toronto as his last two teams. Toronto wasn't going to make it out of the playoffs or make it through the playoffs very far. They really weren't. Even though Andersen was their backbone, they did not have the core to get them through. So when he stepped into Carolina, I think we all knew that he was going to be the goaltender we wanted him to be.
Absolutely.
Now, given that he does have those injuries, whenever he does come back, which thankfully we have not seen more accurate Freddie Andersen yet. We'll knock on wood for that one. But we have not seen that yet again. And we hope that in the playoffs that does not happen. I do want to go into quickly onto Kochetkov too, because I have his full entire stats here from his I think his regular season playoffs percentage at the moment. So Pyotr Kochetkov, he is a 2019 36th overall second round pick from the Carolina Hurricanes, which, by the way, it's not a bad investment because guess who we got him from? We technically got that pick from the Buffalo Sabres when we got rid of Jeff Skinner. Pyotr Kochetkov has played for the Carolina Hurricanes, the Chicago Wolves, and he's played for actually two teams in the AHL, which are the Chicago Wolves and Syracuse Crunch. During his time currently with the Carolina Hurricanes in his season record this year, he is 26-14-3 with a 1,007 goals against and a 899 save percentage.
You say 1,007 goals against? You might want to check that.
That might be a 2,007.
Okay, 2,007.
I might have put it down wrong. But in the playoffs, he is 1-4-0 with the Carolina Hurricanes, posting a 401 goals against average and an 863 save percentage. Which, if you want me to be honest, it's not the best record that you want as a goaltender, especially when you are in the playoffs.
I've got an update.
What's that?
Kochetkov going into today had a 2.54 goals against average on this season.
A 2.54?
2.54, yep.
So it's probably around that, yeah.
So probably about 2.56, 2.57
or something.
Yeah.
Anyways, that is not really what you want out of a goaltender, to be honest with you. I mean, he's young. He's going to grow. He's going to get better eventually. But currently, as it sits, he is right now in a slump, and he needs to get out of it as soon as possible.
All right. So
now,
I'm going to bring up here a couple more little things. So the Hurricanes this year, as every year seems to happen, Freddie Andersen got hurt. And so we've had two goalies step in to play major league minutes who would normally be playing at a minor league level, and that is Spencer Martin and Dustin Tokarski. They both played minimal games. They both had great moments when we needed them to. They both had AHL caliber goalie moments when we needed to. I'm going to touch on this really quick, and then we're going to get to kind of the future of this part of the video. The Carolina Hurricanes are one of three teams, I believe, and you might have to check me on that, to have four goalies record a shutout in this same season.
Whoa!
All four of our goalies, and I'm pretty sure all four of them either have exactly one shutout or maybe Kochetkov has like two. But we don't like shutting out teams, apparently. So, now we're going to look forward to the playoffs. And given Pyotr's struggles and given Freddie Andersen's successes in the recent days, months, whatever, what do you guys think? What do you think, Jack? What would your playoff goalie rotation / 1A, 1B / or just one, who would it be?
I think I said this a couple weeks ago. I wanted, in my optimal world, of course, I'm going to want it to be Freddie Kochetkov. Mm-hmm. That's what I want it to be. However, the past, and current statistics are telling me Freddie until otherwise proven not Freddie.
What you got? What you got, Noah?
All right. What I think currently is if you are the Carolina Hurricanes at the moment, we have, what is it? We have about 8 games left in this season currently before playoffs start. So given lore accurate Freddie Anderson, if lore accurate Freddie Anderson does happen, if you are smart, out of those 7 games or 8 games, whatever it is that we have left, you need to mostly play Kochetkov as much as you can to save Freddie. Now, here's the problem though. If you do that, Freddie could lose his streak and Freddie could not be as healthy as we want him to be going into his next game. Unfortunately, we all think that he's going to get scored on in Washington against Ovechkin, who is right now on an absolute heater and is about to take the record from Gretzky.
He just tied it tonight. Like, as we're speaking, he got within 1 and tied the record versus Chicago tonight. Now, the reason we're saying he's going to break it against us because Washington does have another game in between then. Now, rationale-wise, and I also saw this in a post, Ovechkin decided, because he told Gretzky in the locker room afterwards, he passed up the shot on an open net because he did not want an empty net goal to break the record. So if he's going to go to that link and not break the goal record on an empty netter, you know he's not going to go break the record in New York on Sunday. Why would he do that for a New York Islanders crowd? There's no point. I strongly doubt he breaks the goal record as an away team, which leaves us with Thursday at home versus the Hurricanes, which will likely be Freddie Anderson, who is the only person, Ovi being the only person that scored on him in that very, very awesome highlight-filled game from a couple days ago.
Yeah. Can I quickly say though who I think is going to be our number 1 guy?
Yeah.
For this postseason. No matter what, before I pass this off to Carter so he can get his say on this. I think if you're the Hurricanes for the playoffs, you no matter what go with Anderson until otherwise. But you might want to throw Piotr in when you see that we are up, like if we're up in a series like 3-1 or something like that, or along those lines, or 3-0, throw Piotr in for just a throwaway.
Yeah.
If you win it and get the series, you win it. If you don't, you don't. You come back in the next game with Freddie in that. Because that is the smartest option we have.
It is. And
Carter, what are you thinking?
That is, I'm going to mimic your exact point right there. I think the best way to do it is to roll with Freddie forward, and then you either wait for if Freddie falters and has a really bad game, or if you're up 3-0, 3-1 in a series and you can afford to start Kochetkov. That would be the only instance I would throw Kochetkov in there.
Agreed.
Now, noted. Piotr could actually surprise us in these next few games.
He could.
He could go back on a heater. And we don't even know.
That's what we want.
We want him to, but I'm just saying, we don't know yet.
All right, you guys got any short closing remarks here before we wrap this one on up?
Please lock in Piotr. Please.
Lock in, bro. Lock in.
Lock in.
It is time for our cup run. Get it together.
Get back in the win streak. That's all we need to do. Get back in the win streak.
That's going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you guys for watching so much. Make sure to hit that like button, comment down below, hit the subscribe button, and as always, guys, stay crazy. Peace out.